The Victims Resource Center in Wilkes-Barre works day in and day out to provide services for victims of crime, primarily sexual assault and sex trafficking. Like many across the country, Mackenzie Jennings has been glued to the coverage of the trial of hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs. But for Jennings, her interest runs deeper as she works with victims every single day.
I think it was interesting because it was put on a public platform so quickly and so much information was put out that it drew my interest, but also I like to stay informed about what's happening with victims' rights.
Prosecutors argued Combs used his business to lure and traffic his ex-girlfriends, but the jury found him not guilty of the most serious charges: racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking. The prosecution called 34 witnesses over the course of more than 6 weeks, and the jury saw more than 1,000 pieces of evidence. Despite that, Jennings says sex trafficking cases are incredibly hard to prove.
I think people confuse domestic violence, which was a lot of what was presented there, with sex trafficking, and a lot of times they're connected. So I think based on what the charges were in the circumstance, I'm not necessarily surprised, but definitely disappointed.
She says sex trafficking is one of the only crimes where the victim is often blamed or could even be charged for the actions against them.
And we see that a lot, especially with victims here in our community. People believe that they want to be involved, they want to make money, they'll call them sex workers, those kind of things. And the blaming is the worst part because it makes them not believe themselves. It makes them feel like they were almost a part of it as well.
While Diddy could face up to 20 years in prison on prostitution charges, Jennings says the decision will have lingering implications on trafficking victims everywhere, including right here at home.
I think it's going to somewhat help because people are learning more about sex trafficking and what it really is, but it's also making it a lot more difficult for people to want to come forward.
Despite that, the Resource Center in Wilkes-Barre says it will continue to do the work it needs to keep local victims safe. Melissa Steininger, Newswatch 16, Wilkes-Barre.